and welcome to the nonpartisan informational game show on CNN Kids Time, the only show on CNN that has no political bias whatsoever. For those of you at home who don't know the rules, pay close attention. We'll start off by sharing information on the topic being presented. Tonight's topic is the presidency of Mr. Bill Clinton. Whenever this symbol appears, pay close attention because there might be a question asked later. After each segment, a set of questions will be asked. Be the first to buzz in and answer the question correctly, and you will win a prize. If you would like to play at home, simply be the first to raise your hand and correctly answer the question, and you too may win a prize. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Bill Clinton passed the North American Free Trade Agreement, otherwise known as NAFTA, which removed trade barriers in North America. Gracias.
Although Clinton's universal health care coverage plan was shot down by Congress due to its many flaws and its opposition from the Republican Party and the healthcare industry, his actions for the state children's health insurance plan did go through, and it brought funding to cover uninsured children in low-income families through the states.
Bill Clinton requested a line veto in his State of the Union address in 1995. A line item veto is the power of an executive authority to nullify or cancel specific provisions of a bill. Congress tried to grant this power to the President by the Line Item Veto Act of 1996 to control pork barrel spending. But in 1998, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the act to be unconstitutional in a 6-3 decision in Clinton v. City of New York. The court found that use of the line item veto is equivalent to the unilateral amendment of repeal of only parts of the statutes authorizing federal spending, which violated the presentment clause of the United States Constitution. It appears that a federal line item veto will only be possible through the amendment of the U.S. Constitution. Before that ruling, President Clinton applied the line item veto to the federal budget 82 times.
Please be yes. Please be a yes. I can do this. I got in! And because of Bill Clinton's federal direct loan program, which provides low-interest college loans and established the Amnicords program, I can actually pay for it. Yes. College, here I come. Maybe I can be the next Clinton. Who knows? During his campaign, Clinton also promised to end the exclusion of homosexuals from the military. Just days after President Clinton's election, federal court moved the topic onto the public agenda. Conservatives fought against this bill to the point where Clinton delayed the decision 6 months, which led to the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, meaning military services were no longer allowed to ask sexual orientation of service personnel. Although the result wasn't precisely what the president wanted, it still permitted gays and lesbians to join the military and fight for their country. Took action eventually with the Balkan conflict, which was in the 1990s, and there was genocide resulting from the Civil War conflict that they had, and Bosnians were killing Muslims, and Clinton was hesitant to act, but he finally saw fit, and he started a media campaign which showed the public daily images of the horrors of what was really going on in Bosnia. A Serbian attack prompted NATO to take action and Clinton to compose a response plan, and while all of that was happening, NATO took actions to end the conflict while Clinton presided over a committee that sought out the Dayton Peace Accords. Hey Monica, how much do I owe you for the dry cleaning bill on that blue dress?
Well, Bill, when I got that dress dry cleaned, it was about $45.
I'll write you a check. On December 19th, 1993, Bill Clinton was impeached for perjury and obstruction of justice regarding his sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky from 1995 to 1997. On February 12th, 1999, he was acquitted with the charges after 21 days of trial. The Senate did not reach the 2/3 needed to fully impeach Bill Clinton. The relationship was tipped off by Linda Tripp, who was Monica's friend and co-worker, who recorded their conversations, including her confession
Oh, Bill, I am so sorry for almost getting you impeached.
Oh no, Monica, it wasn't your fault. You see, I was impeached for perjury and obstruction of justice. Thankfully, the Senate denied the House's attempt to impeach me and did not come to a two-thirds majority to fully process my impeachment. The Somalia intervention began with H.W. Bush's term, when he sent troops there with the intent to help the humanitarian relief after their civil war and their struggles with famine. Ooh, I found some applesauce. Good. It led, though, to a huge military struggle when the bodies of the American soldiers were dragged through the streets of the capital, Mogadishu, in October of 1993. Ooh, yes. So I'm going to get some granola bars here, and then I think we're good to go. In 1993, President Clinton passed the Brady Law, which enforced background checks for handgun buyers and a ban on assault weapons. After this, the overall crime rate fell to the lowest level in a generation. He also talked about the acts of terrorism on the United States due to a car bomb being detonated at the World Trade Center in 1993 in New York City, and after the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, which resulted in legislation that set new limits on the habeas corpus intended to help get rid of domestic terrorism. President Clinton entered office with very high crime and poverty rates. He promised during his campaign to reduce the unemployment rate and decrease the national debt. In 1993, he proposed a plan that passed without a single Republican vote. Regardless of what the Republicans thought, the package reduced the national debt by $87 billion in only 2 years. In 1993, President Clinton passed the Family and Medical Leave Act, which gave workers up to 12 weeks of unpaid leave for family or medical concerns. In 1996, Congress passed the sweeping reform bill to end welfare as we know it, like Clinton promised in his campaign in 1992. This bill replaced the AFDC program with block grants to individual states. Clinton also raised the minimum wage from $4.25 to $5.15 an hour. President Clinton appointed Janet Reno for Attorney General, as well as 3 other women to cabinet positions. He also put several other women and African Americans in other important posts. When Court Justice Byram White retired in 1993, Clinton named Ruth Bader Ginsburg as his replacement. So the federal government shutdowns of 1995 and 1996 were results of the conflict between Bill Clinton and the Republican Congress led by Newt Gingrich, because they couldn't come to a decision over funding for Medicaid, Medicare, and other non-defense spending for the fiscal year of 1996. They never reached an agreement, and they were down from December 16, 1995 to January 6, 1996, so that's a total of 27 days that the government wasn't doing their jobs. For Medicaid, Medicare, and other non-defense spending for the fiscal year of 1996. They never reached an agreement, and they were down from December 16, 1995 to January 6, 1996, so that's a total of 27 days that the government wasn't doing their jobs.